Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's been since September of 2019 that families have been asking where JJ and Tylee are. Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow, Joshua Vallow, that is. Tylee, 17 years old, from one of the previous marriages of her mother, Lori, and JJ, the adopted son of Lori and Charles Vallow. For months and months and months, we have been asking so hard, where are they? Where are they? Where are they? While we've watched his mother and his stepfather traipse around the United States and travel as though there was nothing going on. For a long time, a lot of us waited and baited with bated breath, wondering when we would find out, wondering why his mother wasn't saying anything, wanting to know answers. His grandmother, Kay Woodcock, has been relentlessly asking and requesting answers from Lori about where her beloved grandson is. Joshua, or JJ Vallow, was only 7 years old. He was diagnosed with level 2 autism and he had a service dog. Throughout the months of this investigation, we know that the service dog had been given up by Lori. There was so much evidence that the kids were gone, and yet throughout this entire time, there's always been this sliver of hope that they were around. Footage from a doorbell from back in September showed the last known whereabouts of JJ, and it was around September 24th outside of their townhome. But Tylee hadn't been seen since early September when the family had taken a trip to Yellowstone. Many people believed, based on that timeline, that perhaps Tylee did not return from Yellowstone. Well, we had some answers, and yesterday the answers were not exactly what his family had hoped for. Colby, their older brother, and Kay, their grandmother, have been desperately seeking, wanting to know, where are they? And now it appears that we know. Earlier this afternoon, it was confirmed by Arizona's Fox 10 that they have confirmed that they have found JJ and Tylee on Chad Daybell's property. During the court proceedings for Chad, so yesterday, FBI, Rexburg Sheriff's Office, and the Rexburg Police Department executed a search warrant on the property of Chad Daybell. During their search, they uncovered multiple remains from two separate people. They took him into custody and questioned him, and he was later charged with destruction of evidence and concealing evidence. During his court hearing today, when he sat before the judge, the prosecutor was clear that it was two separate bodies and that one of them was a child. They had not confirmed that it was JJ or Tylee, but they said that the evidence in which he had disposed of was related to a crime that occurred in September of 2019. And they said that Chad concealed the evidence in order to avoid felony charges related to those children. The judge went as short as talking about how the children may have passed, and they didn't say whether or not he would be charged. At this point, it seems as though Chad is an accessory. Now, Lori is currently in custody for child abandonment. I'm guessing through an autopsy, they'll have to determine what they did, how these children ultimately succumb. And it's been difficult today waiting to hear. And earlier today, this is what happened. So a statement released to Fox 10 says the Woodcocks and the Ryans are confirming that the human remains found by law enforcement on Chad Daybell's property are indeed our beloved JJ and Tylee. We are filled with unfathomable sadness with these two bright stars were stolen from us and only hope they died without pain or suffering. Official statements from the Rexburg Police, the medical examiner, and the FBI will be released soon. We ask that you respect our family's privacy while we grieve. We have only just been told the loss of our loved ones and need time to process. We are not granting interviews at this time and hope you will understand that this is the worst news we will ever get in our lives and want to be left alone for the time being. Thank you. This was followed up by friends and family sharing tweets on Twitter, and Zach Cox said, JJ and Tylee, I am so sorry for what happened to you guys. You did not deserve any of this, and I am just heartbroken. I am sick. I love you both so much, and it brings comfort to me during these horrible times knowing you are both back with Charles. Justice will be served. In reference to Charles Vallow, who has lost his life also around the hands or near the hands of Lori and Chad Daybell. Lori and Chad Daybell were married within 10 days of his wife passing, Tammy, and Tammy's death is still under investigation. So at the court hearing, this is what happened. He was charged, and then a bail was set at $1 million. The judge said that even though the charges have a maximum of 5 years each with a consecutive of 10 years maximum, that aggravating circumstances of having them find multiple remains on the property contributed him to setting a bail amount of $1 million. It says that the conditions of the bail include that they must sign a waiver of extradition. They have to stay within a certain number of counties. It says that they have to stay within Jefferson, Bonneville, Madison, and Fremont counties. He shall not provide the court with he would provide the court with current addresses and not change that. He will keep in regular contact with the attorney. The defendant shall appear for all court appearances. They shall obey all laws of the state, will sign up for pretrial services, no contact with the victims' families or state witnesses in this case. Dependent must wear a ankle monitor, and they hereby notify that while under the order to wear an ankle monitor, intentionally leaving the area or of restrictions except for the purpose of obtaining emergency medical care may be prosecuted as a crime of escape. The judge was pretty firm that it would be $1 million. And if you'll remember, Lori is also being held on $1 million, and they have not been able to get her out. And it's been difficult because nobody wants to touch her in the area. No bail bondsman wants to be connected to her. This is such a high profile case. There's so much on the line, and nobody likes them, right? There's all these people around them that are gone, and companies don't want to be associated with them. When bail bonds companies were interviewed back when she was first arrested, they said that they made the mistake of letting Casey Anthony out, and some companies, because of what happened with Casey Anthony, will not touch these high-profile cases anymore. So without being able to secure bond for Lori, it's highly unlikely that they'll be able to secure bond for Chad, which means both of them are now behind bars. Now the question comes down is, when will the charges be upgraded? And then what happened and why? I can't imagine under any circumstance just discarding a child like that. Like a 7-year-old boy, he was level 2 autism. He was verbal but had challenges, and he had special needs. He had a service dog. I can't imagine how scary that must have been for him. He was very connected to his father, who her brother, Lori's brother Alex, took away. And there's a lot of speculation that that was not self-defense. And then you have Tammy. JJ and Tylee, according to their brother Colby, were very, very close. Tylee was very connected to JJ and looked at him and took care of him and loved him so much. And I just wonder how the fear that they must have felt in those final days or those final moments. I can't. And then I'm a mother of a child who has autism. And so then I go to like, he can't understand this. Like, how would he know? And why would you do that? Like, why would you do that to a child with autism? Like, why would you do that to a child, period? But why would you do that to someone so helpless like JJ, who relied on everyone else for help, who couldn't do things independently and needed help? Like, how do you do that as a parent? And how is it that they just so arrogantly traipsed all over the United States and acted as though nothing was going on? The kids were somehow away. And then how dare her niece go on an interview and basically say that the kids are in hiding? I can't even believe the levels of the people around this couple that have covered up for them, that have allowed them to continue to lie, that have allowed them to continue to not tell people where JJ and Tylee are. And nobody was able to say goodbye to them. It's selfish, it's self centered, it's disgusting. And Lori has been smug, and Chad has been smug the whole time. And all of it around some crazy belief system where they think their kids are zombies, and that they're better off not being alive because the end of the world is coming this July and they're preparing for it. But all the while they were having fun while they got rid of everyone else around them. How? In what? That doesn't even think of like a belief system to me. That's just like using a belief system to excuse your behavior of getting rid of everyone in your life that somehow made you, that were burdens to you or inconvenient to you, and posed an obstacle into your ability to have your life together. Because that's what this was about to me. A couple that were both married that didn't want to get divorced due to their faith, and then got married after they got rid of their spouses. And I'm guessing the kids became an obstacle, and not, the kids might have known too much. That's my thing, is did Tylee and JJ see something when Charles was gone? Was it because of what they saw with Alex? Did they witness things that their parents did or that their mother did that caused them to become collateral damage? Like, I can't under any circumstances think of why you would punish the children. And if you are that diabolical, in my opinion, you don't deserve a second chance. You don't deserve to live. I don't know what the penalties are in the state of Idaho. And I'm not sure if this will be like a federal case because the FBI is involved, but I know that there is an option that they might not be able to spend the rest of their lives in prison. I'm sick, you guys. I feel terrible. This was not how it was supposed to go. And then at the same time, my heart breaks for this family. I wish that there was something that we could do as a community to help them. I know they want their privacy, and I know they want to grieve, and I just that part of me that wants to help them is like aching. So if you guys know of different places that we can donate, or places that we can try to help the family, please leave me some comments below. I promise to keep you updated. I'm guessing upgraded charges will come as we learn more. But for now, let's all just say a prayer or a good thought for JJ and Tylee, who are gone far too soon and were taken away from the world by monsters.